if you bought yourself a whole striploin and you're looking to cut it, there are some really basic mistakes that a lot of home cutters make. And of course you would, because you've never been trained in this stuff. You've just looked at somebody online do it and thought, how hard can it be? 4-year apprenticeship hard, that's the short answer. But here's what we're going to do. Now, when you've got your striploin, it's a long, fairly flat piece of meat. Now, at the eye end, if you turn it over so the meat side is facing you, what you'll see is there's a very, very long line of gristle that runs right down the back. Now, what good butchers do is we take that line of gristle out all in one go. And there is a very, very easy, simple, and common sense reason to do this. Now, once you've removed that, take your time with it. You don't want to be cutting out part of the eye. You just want to be cutting out the gristle. Yeah. Once you've removed that, which, by the way, you can take the thickest part of it and you can give that to the dog as a chew toy. It's really, really good for the dog, good for their teeth, good for their coat. So now we've got that thick line out. Now what you want to do is turn it over. Now make sure that you've wiped it very, very well so it's not covered in blood and it's not sliding around. You want a stable and dry-ish surface. So now what you're going to do is you're going to cut your steaks as normal. But in another video I've said, it's a knife, not a hacksaw. Now that's the second huge problem that I've seen literally hundreds of times in my life. When I go to other people's place and they want to impress me with how good their cutting skill is. Yeah, I'll be charitable about that, shall I? So what you want to do is cut your steaks and you want to try to get them all a consistent thickness all the way through. Now, the best way to do that is just mark through the fat first so you can visually have a look at it and think, yeah, that's okay, that's pretty decent. Now, once you've done that, so you've removed that long strip of gristle, you've marked the entire run of your steak. Now, the next thing that you don't want to do is don't apply too much pressure to the meat. You just want to hold it with enough pressure so that it's not going to slide as you're cutting it. If you put too much pressure on it, the muscle starts to slip underneath the fat, which is exactly what muscles are designed to do. They move away from pressure. So just enough grip to hold it in place, not so much grip that you start to push the muscle. That's going to be important in a second. Now, when you're cutting, you've got a knife, not a hacksaw. This is probably the most common thing that I've seen, that people hack away at it like it's, that hacksaw blade with teeth. No, it's a knife. So use it as a knife. Make as few cuts as you possibly can. Once you've done that, you've got all of your steaks, then you can decide whether you want to trim the fat off them or whether you want to leave them. But here's the important thing. Sometimes, especially with a porterhouse, if you leave that thick fat on, if you don't cut it all out in one go, you're either going to be cutting it out 16 different times, which makes the job longer, or you might decide to leave it in. That becomes important because if you apply too much heat to the steak, that gristle loses fluid a lot faster than the meat around it. So what happens is your steak starts to curl. So then you need the $100 meat weight to stop it from curling for something that you didn't need to spend $100 on in the first place for. You'll get a better result if you just cut that piece out. So look, if you're not confident in taking the whole thing out at one time, which is the recommended method, then at least take that bit of gristle out of each steak. What you'll find is that you get a more consistent steak. You will get a better crust on it simply because it's laying flat. It's not curling because the gristle lost fluid before the meat did. So try those things. Let me know how you go with it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments, and I'll talk to you next time.